you now have to begin to challenge your thinking. Watch this now. Give me about 5 more minutes. And begin to feed your mind with information that is accurate in accordance with your, or commensurate with who you are. If all you feeding your mind with is, no matter what the circumstance, God will see you through. Oh, Jesus, I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he may not come when you want him, but he's right on time. And if that's all you listen to, then you will have a wait on God mentality. Now there's a time and a place for that, you know, because every now and then we need a little encouragement. But you can't tell me you serving God 5 years, 10 years, and you always, God, I need a word, because God, if I don't get a word, you have to become the word. The word must be made flesh. Hello, somebody? But some people always want God to tell them something. Always want, God, what to wear today? Thus said the Lord, clothes. So you have to be careful what kind of preaching you listen to. You have to be careful what kind of music you listen to. If all you're listening to is when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout the victory. And that's all you're focusing on, then you miss your responsibility here. You have to start feeding your mind with the correct stuff. Parents, you have to be very careful what you allow your children to listen to. Now, I am not one of those who believe that if they watch a cartoon and some demon will come onto the screen on TV and possess them. To be honest with you all, sometimes I sit down and I watch SpongeBob with my children and I laugh. But there are some things about him that I know are undesirable, and while I watch it, I tell them, so they learn. Because they're living in a real world. Are you with me? But no demon ain't coming out of the TV through SpongeBob, no gay demon and get a hold of them. Are you with me? But sometimes we know we have this kind of extreme mentality. We're living in the real world, so we must help them to be aware of what's happening in the world. But whatever you feed your mind with is what you will become. So you have to begin to feed your mind with the word that begins to stamp upon your mental faculties who you are, that you are God's highest creation. Are you with me? You are something else. You are unique. And as you begin to feed your mind correctly, second thing now, like I said last week, you stay connected to your source. Because you are spirit. You are not flesh. You live in a fleshly house, but you are really a spirit. And if you could get a hold of that, it will change your life. Because we are so focused on the flesh, we miss the fact that the real us is the spirit. And so you stay connected to God in relationship, in communion, in prayer, in worship, and you strengthen your spirit, man, and then you renew your mind with the correct information of who you are. You must stop talking foolish talk. Every day on the phone, well, girl, I don't know now. This government every week is a bacchanal with them. 1 week is Rishmi, next week is the AG, and next week is this, and yeah, that is true. But sometimes just let it pass. Or now some of you know your favorite pastime is don't hurt your head now, don't hurt your head now. You know who is that, right? You all know who is that, right? Ian Allen, Crime Watch. Yeah, the fellas, I hear they put out a contract on me for $500,000, but don't take all out your thoughts and come for me, no. Don't hurt your head now, don't hurt your head now. I mean, the guy is so popular, even my sons like to watch him. But if that's all you're feeding your mind with, then that's all you will focus on. I'm saying to you, live in a real world, so you have to know what's happening around you. Fine. But if every day, have you noticed that the only good news on the news is bad news? who murdering, who killing, who raping. And if that's all you keep feeding your mind with, then you will live a fearful life. Let me tell you, I'm trying to finish. Let me tell you how powerful this conditioning of your mind is. There was a documentary done recently. And you also go look for it. I can't remember the name of it, but you can find anything on Facebook or on the internet. Where a black child was placed in a room, about 4 or 5 dolls was placed before the child. And you had a very dark-skinned doll, and all the other dolls were like brown skin, light skin. And they asked the child, which is the most beautiful of these dolls? And the children, consistently chose the white doll. Because we have been conditioned to think that once you're dark like me, you're ugly. That's what we've been conditioned to think. And, in our local culture, what's the mentality? Red woman is the nicest woman. Says who? Says who? But because our minds are conditioned to think a certain way, every time I see a young boy passing me on the street in a little vest, cigarette in his ears, little gold teeth, first thing I think is gangster. And he could be a decent fella, But we have been soaked. That's the power of conditioning. No, I make no apologies if I see you in a vest and cigarette in your ears and I watch in your heart. I watch in your heart. Me and saying, boy, look how they brainwash me. I thinking you're a gangster. You're a gangster. But the point I'm making is that's how powerful the mind can be trained. How powerful the conditioning of the mind can be. So you have to now start feeding yourself with the correct information as to who you are. So as I end today, I ask the question, how does God see you? Made in his image and his likeness. How do you see yourself?